I'm about to fly to Beijing to do a test drive of the Li L9. Now, when I was in Shenzhen, we did our first look of the L9. Tim from Li Auto was kind enough to take me around on a one-on-one with the L9 and explain why and how Li Auto designed the L9. So, this is that video. This is the exterior portion of the L9. Be on the lookout for the interior later and also the test drive of the L9. I'm Will, and this is China Driven.
This is our brand new flagship Li Auto L9.
So this is the biggest, the most expensive, luxurious car for Li Auto.
Yes, okay. Everything. We throw everything inside the car. I will show you later on.
Okay.
Let's talk about the design first. At a relatively far distance, you can definitely tell it's a vehicle from Li Auto. Okay. We have a strong family gene already. And right now, you can definitely tell that you can see the halo light, right? Let me tell you something about the design language. In Li Auto, our design language is it's a mix between German Bauhaus and Chinese minimalism. So, in other words, design for functions.
Okay.
Simplicity, pure, clean.
So it's the simplicity, function over form to some aspect, but at the same time, you have your own kind of minimalistic way of styling. But you also want to show off, you know, there's nothing wrong with your lights. Why go to the effort of hiding them away, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
So that's our design language, right? So, and speaking of the halo light, if you look over there, that's our design philosophy.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, it's the halo, right? Halo, okay. It's a little halo ring surrounded the vehicle, so it's very protective.
Okay.
Protective of your family.
Yeah.
You see the picture below that?
Yeah.
When we design the vehicle, we don't feel like designing a vehicle. We're feeling of designing a home. Okay. So that's how this vehicle is designed.
Because all vehicles for Lishang, for Li Auto, is all based around family.
Strictly family oriented.
Okay.
Yeah. So in 2018, when we launched our Lixiang 1, we were the first to launch the halo light, right? And we see a lot of followers by different competitors, right? This time, as the founder of Halo Light, we push the halo light to the next level, right? This time it's a one continuous halo light. Right. It's the first halo light that have a total length over 2 meters long.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, we co-developed with Hela. Okay. Yeah, we spent over 200 million RMB to design and produce this halo light
just
by
one
ourselves.
Single, over 2 meter long, single strip, right?
Yeah, single strip, but it's not a flat strip. It's a three-dimensional strip.
I can touch it, right?
Yeah, you can definitely
I'm sorry for the guys that have
We're not so fragile.
polishing it all morning.
And don't worry about it.
Yeah, so it's shaped kind of, I guess, plastic, like a perspex, and then kind of, it looks like kind of floating behind it is that beam of light, right? So yes. But it's much more pronounced and styled than, say, on the Li 1, right? It's more. It is very pronounced because we want people to see it even in the dark from like meters away. You can already tell, hey, this is a Li Auto L9 coming towards us. Like for the family user, if you have the little kid standing on the street waiting for his papa to pick him over, right? From a far distance, he can already identify that his father is coming. I always know when a Li 1 is behind me. I can always see it in the rear view mirror, right? Yeah. The bar is very thing. But even on the Li 1, like you kind of evolved it, right? Because in the beginning of Li 1, the indicators were up at the top of the headlights, but later were moved lower, so that this kind of halo light was completely continuous across the top of the headlights. But only this one is. But now this is just a single piece. This is a single piece. Because the last time it was headlights. Before it was right here, right? Yeah. So when it stops flashing, and the halo light will come up. Come back up.
but now it's just continuous. We think by now people are more used to electric vehicle, right? And we still think we're a top company, we're a tech company. We want to be the Apple in automotive industry, right? So we close the nose up.
Okay, yeah.
Remember, there's a huge grille in Li Auto 1, right?
I'm a big fan of that.
You
Very
are?
distinctive grille of the Li 1.
Yeah.
It's a very recognizable,
It's
quickly.
very recognizable,
And
but it looks like, to be honest, it looks like a petrol car.
Yeah. Whereas this has moved more to looking more
When
like
you look at it right now, you can definitely tell it's an electric
EV.
car.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a EREV, but it's an electric car, right? So we have carried over from Li Auto 1 the design element, which is the L-shaped function area.
Okay.
So the low beam, high beam light is integrated inside the projector,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
So the range and the brightness is better than our competitor, which is Mercedes-Benz GLS and BMW X7.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
And then we have this one. This is the assistant lighting. So what does it do is that since you're sitting very tall in Li Xiang L9, right? You want to light up the road surface. When you turn the steering wheel, it will light up the road surface.
Yeah.
For lower
It's really,
lighting.
it's really useful in Chinese countryside.
It is.
Right.
When you have hard time seeing the road surface.
Well, the Chinese countryside, because it just, the road kind of, if people have never driven in the Chinese countryside, you have a road and then it drops like that to the rice fields. And if you're not careful,
yes,
you might run out of road.
Yes.
So it is very useful
it is.
in dark situations.
It is. Well, not in urban driving, but in the countryside driving,
Yeah,
of course.
yeah.
And also the lower light, right? The lower light, it's the signal light. And this one, and the light over here,
Yeah.
do you know what it is?
I do not. Well, I mean, it looks like the American cars that have those reflectors, right? They have to have by law, right?
It's a real light, but let me show you magic.
Okay.
One sec. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay.
So here's the thing. We're actually co-op with the government to set up a standard for autonomous driving, right?
Okay,
To
yeah.
set up the rules for autonomous driving. And the government is considering to require all the manufacturers to signal other road user when they're using ADAS functions.
Okay, yeah.
So this is an ADAS light.
Okay, so when
your ADAS function is on, it should be
in your
on.
ADAS, it's going to go to this color, this blue color.
Yeah, government decide this is the only color you could use for ADAS.
It's a good idea because I think that our road users need to be aware of the fact that somebody is maybe not fully in control at that particular time, and maybe give them a little bit more space, or at least drive around them in the knowledge that.
Caution, right?
Yes.
Yeah, this car is in ADAS function.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we will have this. The function will come up when we start to deliver the vehicle in August. And the first function we're gonna light it up is self-parking.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. And other ADAS function, we will follow the requirements by the government. When they say, hey, you need to light up, then we will have it on.
Oh, okay. So,
Yes.
okay. All right.
Yes.
Yeah.
And beside that,
Well, you don't have the grill anymore, right? But
we don't have the grill.
But you still do have
Yes.
active aero to cool the engine down here.
It opens and closes, right? So it will suck in the air to the engine.
Okay.
So the engine, it's right here, like the air tunnel will suck the air to here and blow to the engine, right? And we have like dynamically, how do I say? So this tunnel is aerodynamic design.
Yeah.
Right? So the air will come up much easier.
Okay, yeah,
right?
yeah.
And we have like two intercooler. One in here, one in here.
Yeah. I can
Separate,
see it.
right?
Yeah.
to provide enough cool air for the radiator.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you normally like to call this the electric generator rather than an engine, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Here's the thing. It's not a hybrid.
Right.
It's EREV.
Right.
EREV stands for range extended vehicle.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's an electric car first. Then we add on a gasoline electricity generator.
Yeah.
So it will provide electricity to the front and the rear motor. And the car.
That's the important part.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people don't understand because there's not a lot of cars on the market anymore that are like this. The BMW i3 used to do it similar to this. The engine never drives the wheels directly. There is no gearbox. There are no
gearbox,
shafts.
no drive shafts.
It just basically runs at an RPM, makes electricity, and directly powers the electric motors, or any extra goes back into the battery pack. Right?
It will decide automatically,
Yeah.
but the priority is to provide electricity for the front and the rear motor. So no gearbox. So you enjoy all the smoothness and all the instant acceleration of an electric car. Well, you don't have range anxiety.
Right.
You can always put in fuel.
So this is the same kind of function as in the Li 1, and when I drove the Li 1, we can't drive this yet, but when I drove the Li 1, you know, even when it is being powered by that engine, or rather I should say when the electricity is being made by the engine, it still drives very much like an EV, instantaneous torque, no RPMs, because it really is, because when people say EVs have instantaneous torque, what they actually mean is electric motors have instantaneous torque.
Yes.
And this is always using electric motors, either being powered by a battery or being powered by this engine.
Yes. Right? So at stationary, right, when you press the pedal, you have the max torque and max power output.
Yeah.
Now, unlike the petrol car, you have to accumulate engine RPM to have more power, right?
Yes.
So this one is great for city driving when you want to try to overpass a slower traffic user. It's instant power. It's instant power for such a big car.
Yeah.
And so it's so easy to drive. Yeah, it's very agile.
You know, not everybody lives in Shanghai or Shenzhen where there's a crazy number of EVs. You know? And not everywhere in China has great charging infrastructure. I went to Qinghai. There's not even great, you know, petrol station infrastructure there. So for some people, running EV is not always really that convenient because the charging infrastructure hasn't fully been built out in
Thanks
some
for
places.
mentioning that. That's why this vehicle is created. It's easy adopter, right? If you drive an EV by yourself, it's okay. You can like find a charging pole for hours. It doesn't matter. But if you take your entire family out, you don't want to pass them range anxiety, right? And plus, this car goes longer than the petrol car.
Yeah.
The longer range than petrol car.
Well, this is 1,100 kilometers on
on WLTC standard.
Yeah.
So if your fuel is drained and your electricity is drained, you can always put in fuel, like when you drive a petrol car. But
to be honest, when I was driving a Li Auto, you know, I don't have a home charger where I live, but if I did, you know, you'll be able to drive it every day to and from work purely on electric mode, right?
Yes.
Only if you suddenly needed to go somewhere, you might have to dip into the kind of petrol motor.
Yes.
But for most daily drives, so I think, you know, there are some people out there that don't like EREVs, and I think that it's a wrong logic, because I think that it's a great way for people who are not ready to fully adopt electric to be able to drive electric 90% of the time for their daily and go, you know what, I could actually live with an electric car, right? Because
exactly.
So, you know, if more people buy these and do 90% of their yearly journeys in EV mode, then that's a success. Right?
It is a success, right? Easy adopter. Yeah. So for me, myself, I from work to home, round trip 130 kilometers.
Okay, yeah.
So I drove a Li 1, so I will, Monday to Friday, I don't need to push a single drop of fuel.
Yeah.
So it will go with our battery power, right? This one is even better. 180 kilometers in WLTC range, which is more close to realistic range, right? Why we make it this big, it's not like 200, 300 kilometers. When we, it's always, you have to decide how big your battery goes and how big your tank goes, right? So there's a downside if your battery is too big. There's downside if your range is too short. So when we look at all the customers' usage data, right, we realize that people are using less than 100 kilometers range every single day.
Yeah, definitely.
So we give them more, a lot more than enough. Let's talk about the side of the car, right? First of all, it's a flagship, right? And it's a premium flagship family SUV, right? So for premium car, it's all about attention to details. And you cannot have too many elements in the car. So it's very simple and very direct.
So not distracting, right?
Yes. One thing we carry over from Li Xiang 1 is the straight line. You see the line right here? It's it's straight. We don't have any shape, right? And we don't have a dropping roof. That's why you will see a huge greenhouse on the side. The glass, right? It's really big. So when you sit in the car, you will have a good lighting coming out of the window. And also, like for that design only for function part, we don't have any different lines on the side profile. We only have this protection bar. For the side crash, there's different bars.
Okay, so this part here where it comes out is actually because of that protection bar for the battery?
No, it's the protection bar for the side body.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. So, and it makes the car a little masculine, right?
Okay, yeah.
But other thing, we don't have any other lines, right?
No lines or creases, yeah.
So we're like, we want to be extremely simple.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also,
but you still have this kind of, this whole chrome framing.
Yeah.
The same as the Li 1, right?
Same as Li 1, right? And this time, the door, it's covered by the lower side of the door, so you don't have your pen, you will not get your pants dirty. And it's really easy to get in and get out. And it's self-closing.
Oh, okay.
Self-closing, everything comes as standard. No charge. Yeah, and this one, the automatic door handles, right? It will close up, right? But in Li Auto, we don't want to design anything complicated. When you look at it, we want you to figure out instantly how to use it, right? You don't have to think about it. You don't have to overly think about it.
Yeah.
So the door handle is very easy. When you lock the door, it will close up, right? Make the car very smooth. But when you unlock it, it will stay this way.
Okay.
It will just stay this way.
It's a handle and you just use it like a normal handle, right?
Yeah, it's still a mechanical handle. And also, it will come up with the force over 8 newtons.
Okay.
Yeah, so it will break regular ice in winter.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay. Well, I mean, that's not a problem where I live in China, but might be if you're from the northern part of China.
From Beijing.
Okay, so it will be
Beijing.
able to punch out.
Yes.
Even if it's frozen over.
Yes. When we open the door for you, right, it's really easy to get in. And talking about the equipment line, right? So inside the car, it's all covered by leather. We got 6 Napa leather seats. Everything is covered by leather. And we're the same size, same length with BMW X7 and Mercedes-Benz GLS. But the interior room is much larger than our competitors. And because we have a very huge tunnel, you can get into the third row very easily.
What about compared to the Li 1? So it's wider than the Li 1?
It's slightly bigger.
Okay.
And also, since this is a bigger car, right? And also, like, when you step in, you will definitely feel the enlarged room because we spent so much time and effort to get you more room. So from our R&D colleague, he said, no, not even 1 more millimeter.
Okay. Yeah.
So it's really already pushed everything to the limit. Okay. Yeah. So and also self-closing, and we'll see the interior later on, right? And right now this one is electrically open.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Rather than
but now it's locked, so let's go.
So it's the same as Li One. It's charging one side and fuel
on the other. And when you have our home charging pole installed, when you walk here, it will open itself, and then you plug in. When you leave the vehicle, you unplug it, right? You can just go, and it will close it. Okay. It will close it as soon as you press on the brake pedal.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And in the back, I want to talk a lot in the back for you.
Well, this much more than the front. This Li One, like this is definitely more familiar. This rear.
Right. Yes. Right? Yes.
Because
you can see a strong family gene, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Yes. Actually, you're very professional. This shape is carried over from Li Auto 1. It's to improve the dynamic features.
Okay.
Yeah. And also like the floating light.
Yes.
It's not. It's really red.
Yeah.
It's a laser light.
It's a laser light.
Case. It's not by the case. LED. Okay. Sorry, it's LED. My
okay.
bad. It's LED.
Okay.
And you can see the back. Half of the back, it's our large windshield.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, this looks like really big window back here.
Yeah, we hear a lot of people complaining, hey, in other manufacturers, a lot of people complaining that, hey, you have a very small windshield in the back, and then they will say, hey, well, you have all the camera, all the sensors.
Yeah.
Why do you need a large windshield? We think differently. When you look from the rear mirror inside the car, we want you to have the best view.
It's also going to help that third row.
Yeah, lighting.
Passengers lighting, yeah.
It's gonna be great.
And I also see, I just spied up here that it does have a window wiper tucked right up here.
We hide it.
Yeah.
Inside the rear spoiler.
But it's nice because so many cars now are doing away with them, and I like a rear window wiper.
I like that as well.
You know, you can't clear the scratch, especially, you know, if you drive in China, you know, the roads, it gets wet, it gets mucky.
Foggy.
Yeah, the backs just get covered, and then unless you go take it to somewhere to go wash it, it's not going anywhere, right?
I know. There's one more feature. Kickstart. Regular car kickstart is underneath here, right?
Okay, yep.
But when you kick it, when it's starting to open, you have to hide it, right?
Yep.
And when you park in a garage, behind you is a wall. You got no place to hide.
Yeah.
It's really inconvenient. That's why we move it to the side of the vehicle.
So the Li One is here, and this one is on the side.
See how easy it opens.
Okay.
Because you have a really long bumper, right? So it's really hard to find the location of that sensor.
Just like
right?
Yeah. Like this.
But now it's
just right
no way
there.
you can. It's
just right below.
You're never gonna fail, right? And it makes more sense when you come here and make it open.
Is it on both sides or just on the driver's side?
Sorry?
Is it both sides or
no? It's only on this side.
Okay.
It's only on this side.
Okay.
And also, if you think the load is too high, doesn't matter. Air suspension, it will drop 5 centimeters.
Okay. Yeah.
Right, and it dropped very quick.
It's pretty flat there as well.
Pretty flat.
Yeah.
And also, I want to show you some other functions as well. Electric seat in the back. Remember, like sometime when you want to put the seat down, right? It's electric release. But what if your second row is like this, right? It's sliding down. So regularly you have to go to the second row and then make it upright, and then you have enough room to drop it. Look, my magic right here. So it will adjust the second row first.
Okay.
Then it will drop this one.
Okay.
Yeah, it's fully electric. It's fully electric. It will come down electrically and it will come back up electrically
as well. Okay.
Yes, of course.
And even the headrests.
No, not the headrest.
Oh, okay. Okay.
But it's easy flip.
Oh, but they release down when you went on the way down. Okay.
And once you're done, it will come up.
Okay.
And in this room, well, when you have 6 family members, it will still hold a 28-inch suitcase and a 22-inch suitcase at the same time.
Okay.
So it's the biggest in the segment.
Okay.
Yeah. Why do I still use it? Oh, I want to show you this.
It can also close.
See, it's really easy. When it touch it, and then it will just
go back up.
Go back.
And I guess same as the Li One, you can adjust how much this opens as well.
So was this one.
Yep.
Yeah. And I will show you all the cameras, right?
Okay.
Yeah. So on the side, right?
Yep.
This is a 8 million pixel camera.
Oh, here. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought. Okay, so there's one right here.
One right here. One right here.
Yep.
Right. So 4.
Yep. Okay.
On both sides, right?
These are 8 megapixels.
And
yep.
2 megapixel in front.
Are they 2 megapixels?
You see that
in
2
front?
lenses? Yeah, that's 8 megapixel.
They're 8 megapixels.
Oh, of course.
So 2 8 megapixels there. 2 here on the side. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 6 8 megapixel cameras.
And also the 2 megapixel. This one.
The side. Okay,
2, right?
Okay.
And 1 in front, 2 in the back.
Okay, so they're used for the parking.
Parking and short range.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And 2 in the back. And we have a LiDAR over there.
So this is 128 line.
128 line.
Solid state.
Solid state
compared
LiDAR.
to XPeng or Neo that are using
hybrid. Yeah.
LiDARs. Okay.
You have to check their figures. I don't know. I can only tell you about Li Auto.
Okay. Then
And yeah, and we have a millimeter radar.
Okay. Yeah.
Underneath, so that's why we have a 12 degree angle.
Oh, so it's hidden. It's behind.
Yeah, it's hidden behind.
Oh, okay.
So the wave will go through the panel, right?
Okay.
So it's right here,
Yep.
and we have like 12 parking
Parking sensors. Yeah.
sensors. That's pretty much about the exterior, but the fun part comes inside the car.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's do that.
Yeah.
Right, that's it for now. Keep your eyes out for the interior tour with Tim and also that test drive of the Li L9. I'm Will, and this was China Driven.